What is your most recent pivot for your team? Our most recent pivot was after a meeting with Ken Singer last weekend. We were able to reach the consensus that our idea, which is essentially like a se- sentiment analysis of the stock market and like just trends based off of inputs from Twitter and other social media sites, might have been in we might have chosen just a largely too competitive field within equity just because that's where a lot of interest is. That's where the money is for hedge funds specifically. However, we were given some great advice that we might be able to go for a market that is less competitive and therefore with like a lot fewer people who are doing the same kind of research, which is fairly popular at the moment. So we decided to pivot more towards focusing on something more niche, perhaps in the FX market or in the bonds market, or even something even more niche than that. So perhaps like natural disasters. Um, and we are actually in the process of pursuing this pivot. We're all doing our individual research, and we've agreed to like congregate again and meet on Wednesday following class and just really talk about research and decide the future direction for the project. The core of the project still remains the same. The code we still plan to implement IBM's sentiment analysis API along with Twitter's data scraping API capabilities and use those as a combination to fulfill our projects. We're just now doing that with foreign exchange currencies. And the way we've also mixed up how we're going to do the prototyping for this now is because the market for foreign exchanges is pretty large and it's a lot bigger on a macro level, which means there's a lot of more smaller factors we have to consider to contribute to the more macro scene. Bonds are less complicated, so we might actually go that way for testing, but prototyping is something we definitely have to work on as well. But that's our pivot.